Longhofer for the Attorney General's office. We do have Ms. Walsh present with counsel. Mr. Francis, though served, has not appeared. We are asking for a default final order in suit affecting parent-child relationship. The parties are married and separated. No divorce has been filed at this time by either party. I will present evidence through testimony from Child Support Officer Molly Searles about income for Mr. Francis. And then I will defer to Mr. Hayden on the issues for conservatorship and possession and access in his testimony, or his client's testimony.
All right, then thank you very much. I'll ask the CSO and Ms. Walsh to both, well, I see the CSO, turn on your videos, turn on your audios, and raise your right hands, and I'll swear you in, please. All right. Well, if you solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to get here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you. Thank you, Ms. Walsh. Okay, CSO Searles is sworn in. Ms. Walsh, you can just go ahead and raise your right hand and say, I do, please.
I do.
All right, thank you very much. You're both officially under oath, and I'll let the state and Mr. Hayden, do you wish to make an opening statement on behalf of your client? Thank you.
Just briefly, so you know what we're asking for. We want sole. We want your typical step-up visitation, except I would like a slight modification, just to make sure he doesn't do a couple of visits over 10 years and then suddenly he has a SPO. So, you know, basically that it be close in time before the step-up is triggered. We're asking for non-disclosure, and we're asking that when he does get unsupervised visitation, that all guns be locked up.
Oh, you really don't want me to have to do anything that's going to be Second Amendment related on this one, Mr. Hayden. I stay away from that. Well,
if CPS can require people keep their guns locked up, I think you can too.
I probably could, but like I said, I thought, no, it's not racist to say like an Eskimo from a polar bear, but yeah, I stay away from that. But I'll go ahead and hear the reasoning behind that, sir, and definitely you should have your guns locked up no matter what, but it's an individual thing. So all right then, both witnesses have been sworn, and I'll go ahead and let the state call their first witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls CSO Molly Searles. Ma'am, will you please state your name?
Molly Searles.
And how are you employed?
I'm a child support officer with the Office of the Attorney General.
And do your duties as a child support officer involve doing income investigations in cases like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do an income investigation into Savion Francis?
Yes.
And what did you find?
So my investigation shows that Mr. Francis is prior military. He was an E4 from September 2020 until April 2022 when he was demoted to an E1. He did separate from the military in August of 2022. Since separation, he has been employed with the same employer and is currently making $6,671.72 a month. So based on my calculations, the retroactive judgment for Mr. Francis would be $18,696. And current child support would be $1,025, and the mother is currently covering medical and dental at $211.86.
Okay. Now, when you were calculating the retroactive support, did you go back and use the military chart for an E4
yes.
for each year?
Yes, ma'am. I used for E4 and E1.
All right. Is there anything I haven't asked you about Mr. Francis's income that you have not testified to yet?
No, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, your witness, Mr. Hayden.
Just briefly, the medical support costs, did you find that it is $162.50 a month?
Yes, for the health insurance.
And then for the dental, and that's just for the child, right?
Yes, sir.
And then for dental, you found $49.35 per month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No further questions.
All right. CSO Searles, that's just one child in by no others, or is that there's another sibling somewhere?
There's just the one child on this case.
All right, thank you. All right, anything on redirect, Ms. Longhofer?
No, Your Honor, I ask that Ms. Searles be released to her duties.
All right, thank you. Get back to work, Ms. Searles, so I can get out here and get some Thursday night football, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, man, thank you. I don't even know who's playing tonight. I don't care. So I'm just kidding. All right, then call your next witness, please.
The state calls Ms. Walsh. Ms. Walsh, if you'll unmute.
Yes.
All right.
All right,
Now,
will you state your full name for the record, please, ma'am?
Kalin Walsh.
All right. Thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Longhofer.
thank you, Your Honor. What is the name of the child in this case?
Jace Francis.
How old is Jace?
3 years old.
And when was his birthday?
February 6, 2020.
All right. Now, who has health insurance for Jace?
I do.
And where do you get that insurance?
Through work at Baylor Scott and White.
Does that include dental insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the amount testified to for the health insurance and dental insurance by the child support officer correct?
Yes.
And that's just for your son?
Yes, correct.
Are you asking him to, Mr. Francis, to reimburse the cost of health and dental insurance to you?
Yes, please.
Now, when did you and Mr. Francis stop living together?
September of 2020.
Now, since you separated, did he give you any money to help for support?
Yes.
How much did he give you?
A total of $11,514.40.
Okay. Now, was part of that from before he separated from the military?
Yes.
How much was that?
While he was still in the military, it was $10,564.40.
And then how much has he given you since he separated?
$950.
And when do you remember when he separated from the military?
August of 2022.
So since then, he's only sent you $950?
Correct.
Now, regarding the money he sent while he was still with the military, was that a requirement of his service?
Yes, for spousal support.
So that was supposed to be money for both of you? You and your child, I mean.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Your witness, Mr. Hayden.
Quickly, by way of clarification, you said that you separated in September of 2020, but I think when we had talked, you had said September of 2019. Which is it?
Well, he deployed in September of 2019. So I moved back home because I was pregnant at that time. But so we stopped living together September of 2019, but we separated like our marriage September of 2020.
Okay, so for what period of time did he provide support? Was he supporting you after the child was born, but before that separation date? Official
Yeah.
separation date?
What do you mean?
Sorry, what? like was his income, household income, was his income helping to support you and your child after the child was born?
Yes.
Okay, so then the separation date truly should be September of 2020.
Yes.
Is that when his income stopped being usable by you to support the child?
I'm not sure. What do you mean?
So at what point in time could you no longer rely on him to financially support you and the child?
All right, Mr. Hayden, let me rephrase that for you, sir, because I wanted to hear it this way. Ma'am, y'all separated in 2020, so up until that time, y'all were considered a household. So your money was his money was yours, correct?
Correct.
All right, so in September 2020, however, you were officially separated, and you had to take care of yourself and take care of the child, and from that point forward, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I got. So yeah, y'all still married. Even though you're still married after that point, he had to start sending you money in based on what the Army required him to do, correct?
Correct.
All right, got it. Okay, yep. Been through this 100 times before, so yeah. Okay. I got it then. I got the dates right on the docket, Mr. Hayden. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, I think that, oh, well, no, I do have some questions about retro still. So, the vast majority of those payments is what the Army called spousal support, correct?
Correct.
All but 950 of it.
Correct.
Now, was that to support you and the child or just the child?
For both.
Okay. So, are you asking the judge to consider all of that as a child support direct payment, or none of it, or something in between?
Something in between.
Okay. So, for example, you might ask the court to give half credit, half for you, half for the child.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, let's shift over to talking about conservatorship and visitation and safety. In the past year, how often has he seen your son?
This year he has seen him 5 times.
Okay, any overnights?
No.
And your child is 3 going on 4?
Correct.
Your son, what does he think of his father? What does he know him as?
He doesn't know him. He doesn't really know what to call him because he doesn't know who he is, and he cries if he's only with him because he is a toddler that doesn't, it's a stranger to him.
Do you want him to understand that that's his daddy, or do you want him to have nothing to do with him?
I would like him to understand that that's his father.
Okay, so you're not like purposely trying to say don't call him daddy or anything like that.
No, of course not. No.
Okay. Because some people do that. It's a good way to get Judge Nelson mad at you. So yeah, through no fault of your own, he just doesn't understand that's his dad. So let's talk about safety. So he knows where you live.
Yes.
And why does he know where you live?
Because when I moved, he kept harassing me on trying to get my new address. Because there was the family violence order that was put in. So they told me I didn't have to disclose it, and I didn't for the first couple months, but then he kept harassing me and saying that I was keeping from him. So I told him.
And just to clarify, when you say family violence order, are you referring to something a judge did, or are you talking about the attorney general saying you don't have to tell them where you live?
I think it was the judge. It was the court thing.
Was it the military, ma'am?
No. This was this year. It was supposed to be for child support for the first meeting that was going to be the cordial figure out child support meeting. And he had threatened harm on himself. And I told the lady that, and that was why we were not able to do that court. So she put in a family violence order, and I had to sign an NDA and like give them all the information.
So, Your Honor, I think this was just a child support review process meeting in the
I got
the
it.
CSO told her that
Okay.
it was an FBI case.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted you to know that there's not some
Okay, I didn't think
order out there.
there was a protective order out there from a state judge. I was just wondering whether or not the military, they have their own family violence
Right.
also. So yeah. So
Right.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
To your knowledge, has he ever come up with a plan to kill you?
Yes, once.
So why don't you go into that? Explain that to the court.
So the beginning of 2021, the girlfriend that he was seeing at the time, they both talked about how they were going to kill me and hide my body. And this was the whole time the Vanessa Gullin was going on, where she was still missing and they had not found her yet. So they were like talking about, oh, I know places around Fort Hood that we could hide Kalen's body that no one would find her.
And how do you know this happened?
The girlfriend had told me at one time when where she was very angry at him. So she contacted me and told me about it. And I confronted him, like asking him about it. And at first he denied it. And then he said, yes, they were talking about that, but then said that he would never actually do it. He was just saying all of it out of anger.
Does he have anger issues?
Not that I am aware of, but I do know he can be short-tempered when he is not taking his steroids.
So are these prescribed steroids, or are they for working out?
For working out.
Okay, and if he goes off his steroids, he's not a pleasant person.
Yes. I mean, he's not aggressive, but he's a lot more short-tempered.
I'm sorry, let me get this straight. He has roid rage without when he's not on the steroids.
Well, because when he's on the roids, he's in the gym for like hours. So I guess he gets it all out. But when he's off long, he starts to go through the withdrawal of not having it.
Okay. And ma'am, he getting these steroids legally that you know of?
Honestly, I just found out that he was doing them last year.
Okay. You don't know if he's got a prescription or is he getting them under the table?
Under the table. I knew that. I knew it wasn't prescribed to him.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed.
When you talked about child support with him, did he make any threats?
Yes.
What was that threat?
He said he was going to kill himself if I put him on child support.
Why do you think he made that threat?
To make me not do it, because fear for him to do it if he was.
Do you think he was actually serious about it?
Maybe, because he has had an attempt in the past from getting very angry and.
Okay. Does he commonly threaten suicide?
Yes.
Okay. And
frequently.
Is that usually like when you're doing something he doesn't want you to do?
No, because now lately it hasn't even been pertaining to me about wanting to do it.
Okay. And you're asking the court to order communication through app close because he can be aggressive in text messages and all that on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about gun safety. Why do you have gun safety concerns?
Because our son has stumbled upon his gun to my knowledge, it was 3 times, but he told on himself about the 4th time that our toddler baby had.
And when he came upon the guns, do you know if they were secure?
No, they were not.
Okay. Do you know if they were loaded?
The one, I did not look to see if it was loaded because it was at the bottom of his book bag, but the clip was in, but I did not open it or anything to see if the magazine was loaded or not.
Okay. And you're unsure if the safety was on?
Correct.
Yeah. But those free lockout things that the VA will give you, that they didn't have, he didn't have those on him?
No, he has nothing. To my knowledge, I don't even know if he has a gun safe, like the portable gun safes.
Yeah. But he could get those free things from the VA, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, let's talk about non-disclosure of address. Now, even though he knows where you live right now, this is about whether he has the right to know where you live if you move. Because normally you're ordered to tell him when you move, unless the judge today says you don't have to do that. So, does he ever show up unannounced?
At my new house, no, but when I lived in my apartment, yes.
Okay, and characterize those unannounced visits for us.
He would just show up pounding on the door to see our son, or I don't know. He just would show up unannounced.
Okay. So do you have concerns that he may start this behavior again in the future if something triggers him?
Yes.
And I know he's moved to Arlington. Did these unannounced visits happen after he moved to Arlington?
Yes, there were some after he moved.
Okay, so distance is not necessarily going to cure this. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, I think that's everything.
All right, ma'am, can you give me a little background? You say you've seen the child 5 times this year. What were those visits like, and how long were they for, and who was present, and that sort of thing?
So this year, they were at my house or my apartment. Where was it? And it was just me and him. We did go to the park and out to eat on the one day. Otherwise, we were just at my house, and it was a total of not even 17 hours for those 5 visits total.
And you say he lives in Arlington now?
Yes.
And what does he do for a living?
He works for Cummins Mechanics, I believe.
Diesel mechanic?
Yes.
All right. And who does he live with?
His girlfriend.
All right. Is this a different girlfriend from that was plotting from 2020?
Yes.
Okay. And does he have any family in Texas?
No.
Where's he from?
New York.
Okay, thank you. All right, then. I'm sorry, Ms. Longhofer. Any questions on redirect?
And just very briefly, where would you like to do the pickup and drop-offs if it's not at your house?
The Walmart on West Adams.
And what?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I always use the local police department. Walmart will arrest both of y'all if something goes south in that Walmart parking lot. Okay, well, you talk about people that got clout. Okay, the Waltons got to have clout, and I've actually years ago I did this, and a couple got into a fight at a convenience store, and both of them got arrested. So let's go with Temple PD downtown. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I've learned and besides, the police department has the best high definition cameras in the parking lot. So yeah, it's really good. So yeah. Thank you.
All right.
You may proceed, Ms. Longhofer. Thank you.
That was my. Oh, well, real quick. Do you have any plans to move away from this general area, Bell County?
No, ma'am.
We are asking for no geo restriction, though. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry, you're not asking for a geo, or you're okay with one?
We want there to not be one. Frankly, I haven't talked to Ms. Walsh about it, but I would rather there not be one. She's from New York.
Oh, she's from New York too?
Yeah.
Also, sorry. All right. Oh, okay. And ma'am, you have no family locally either?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Okay, then I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, then. Anything on recross, Mr. Hayden?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm looking at pretty much granting everything everybody's requested here. Based on the past circumstances and the family violence and the threats, court finds it's in the best interest that the mother be named sole managing conservator, but I'll name dad possessory conservator, but I'm looking at having to give him all the rights under the possessory conservatorship family code section. I hadn't heard anything about that. I will go ahead and that will prevent me from doing that. I will go ahead and do the step-up visitation as requested. I'll go ahead and order that y'all use app close going forward. I usually throw in, ma'am, video visits or electronic visits, especially when people live more than 100 miles away. So I'm looking at doing that at least every Sunday at 6 p.m. our Central Time. So that way he can get a little chance to know his dad a little bit better. And but dad needs to let you know that he's going to exercise that Sunday evening visitation via an app close works with that too. They got a video chat function on that. And he needs to let you know on or before Thursday evening on each Thursday whether or not he's going to go ahead and do the visitation electronically. And if he doesn't let you know by 6 p.m. on Thursdays, you don't have to worry about it. But if he does, you need to make sure the child's available at 6 p.m. On that Sunday for him to do a video chat. And I always say 30 minutes, but he's 3 years old. Dad will have to dress up in a clown suit to make him pay attention for 15 minutes, so much less 30 minutes. So yeah, but as long as he's willing to stand there and talk to dad, then yeah, that's the way we'll work it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, then. And then, of course, like I say, the graduate visitation package going forward, geo restriction is will not grant one on this one. Neither party's from Texas. They don't live in the same county. They're not close to each other anymore. So, and dad has not had the extensive relationship with the child. If he'd been living in Dallas and doing visitation every 1 weekend a month, doing his holidays and summers and all that, yeah, ma'am, you'd be stuck here in Texas. But based on this, I'll let you move back to where my crazy college roommate lives if you want to, Brooklyn, New York. So yeah, yeah. Never go to an MD named Kabad up there. Okay, there's a couple of them, and he's one of them. But yeah, no, he's a good doctor, but he was a crazy roommate. So yeah. So.
I'm in the Buffalo area. I was in the New York City area.
I'm sorry, you're from the place where they get 118 feet of snow.
Yes, that part.
See, I thought that was in Canada.
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah, they're on the. Yeah, so anyway, ma'am, but if you want to move back to Buffalo, more power to you. So, all right, then. Is there anything else I need specifically ruled on this one, Miss Lockner? Don't worry, I'm not going to call you Hasselhoff or anything like that. So, Miss Hoffer, is there anything else that you need to specifically rule on? I'm granting everything you requested. And
the retroactive support, Your Honor, it was the max calculated was the 18,696.
Since it's 18K, I'm going to give him credit for everything he did. I know, but back in the good old days when I was a private attorney, I know the Army used to do the full BAH to mom, and 1/3 was for her and 2/3 was for the child. And if mom and dad were not married, then the children would get 2/3 of his BAH. So instead of just going at that 66.6, it's $18,000 at 6% interest. The interest alone on that is $90 a month. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at the 18K. All right. In order the and what was the requested repayment amount?
Well, Your Honor, the 18K was without any of the credit applied. With the
without any credit applied?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then give him credit for then just go ahead and give him credit to 16, then get 6. I hate to do this, 66.666. Okay, multiply that, and that's what he gets credit for. Okay, we just did. I went an extra one. I went a couple extra past Satan, but yeah. So we won't jinx anybody.
And sorry, could you repeat could you repeat the amount of credit, Your Honor?
Well, she's going to multiply the what he sent in as per the Army requirement, and multiply that by 2/3, and that amount is I'll give him credit for, and the 1/3 that he technically gave. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that this is 20-year-old things I'm thinking about, but I'll make 2/3 for the child and 1/3 for mom. That's fair anyway. So yeah.
Okay, so the 66%. 0.66. I did 5 digits of 6 just to make it.
Okay, yeah, you're down to pennies now, so yeah.
Yes. The credit from the what he was paying when he was enlisted was $7,009.53.
All right, good enough. Take that out and from the 18,000. So we're looking at 11K and some change. All right.
And then there was a further 950 since he was separated. That was
Right. He gets full credit for that. So yeah.
Oh, so I calculated it at $7,042.93, and then we need to add on the 950 to that. Was that what y'all got?
I got a max the total credit $7,959.53, leaving a judgment of $10,736.47.
Okay. Yeah, I think
it's close enough.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
And interest is about $54. So
Right. So I want to go ahead and order repayment at 110 a month.
Thank you.
In addition to regular child support.
And then on court costs, he's a retired military, Your Honor.
Well, he got demoted from E4 to E1, which tells me there was a problem with the United States Army. Well, okay, man, was he dishonorably discharged, or was it just another discharge, or did he actually get a honorable discharge? Do you know? Honorable.
I'm sure, but I do know they pushed him out where he could not re-enlist. But I don't know if it's honorable or dishonorable.
Okay.
And we know he's not getting VA disability. So.
Yeah.
And sound like yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and waive court costs. Yeah, he's got other problems than that, and he did serve 3 whole years. So yeah. And you're talking to a guy who's born on Fort Hood, whose dad did 22 years in the Army, and yeah, so and practiced family law outside of Fort Hood for 15 years. No, 20 years. Never mind. So yeah, this has come up a few times. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else, folks?
That was all.
I think we're good.
All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and order him to secure his weapons at all times. The child is in his possession. That's just the 3-year-old has been able to find a weapon more than one time. Kind of worries the daylight out of me because none of mine are anywhere near 3-year-old level. Okay, so yeah, so well the level that they walk around on. So, but hopefully he'll start doing some of those electronic visits, and they'll get a chance to talk because. Yeah, I still electronic visit with my kids, and we're going to do it again this weekend on Xbox Live. They want to do not Call of Duty. They want to do oh God, what do they want to do this weekend? Oh, I'll figure it out. But we'll do it. Whatever they want, I'm in for. So yeah. So Gears of War, that's what they want to do, and I hate that one. All right, chainsaws on the end of a gun. Yeah, that's not practical. So yeah. Anyway. Anything else of the witness? May she be excused at this time, Mr. Hayden and Ms. Longhofer.
I believe we're good, but Mr. Hayden, if you'd like to pop back into the breakout room once we're excused, and I'll finish drafting the order.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be real fast.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your service. And again, thank you, Mr. Hayden, and hope to see you again soon enough, sir. And
yeah.
Keep your hands off my gaming computer, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I couldn't pass up the opportunity to come into your court again. It's been too long.
Thank you. We're off the record.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.